What's up, YouTube? It's your boy King Tyson, and I'm back. Before we get to it, make sure you like, comment, subscribe as you always. Watch the full video. Watch the video to the end. Smash that like button. What's a brand? I didn't even watch the clip. I seen the title over the clip. You should have kept it to yourself, bruh. You shouldn't have did it. You should not have done it. And you for sure should have kept it to yourself. If nobody knows about certain things, bro, why are you exposing them?
The Russell Brand allegations were already horrifying enough, but Russell Brand decided he was going to wake up today and nuke his entire career. He went on Megyn Kelly and essentially said something that I don't think any man can ever come back from. We'll get back to the video shortly, but I wanted to when I go on my weather basis and cold apologizing for hating him all these years. She starts off by saying, man, she heard all these horrible things about him. She believed it at first and she hated him because of it, but the fake news is fake and she can't believe the fake news convinced.
I believe her though. I understand what she's saying. What she's saying, cause hey, even when I see the title of him saying that, I wasn't surprised. I was not surprised. Even though I can't even say he's a great actor because I only know the name from like one or two movies, so I can't even say that. But I wasn't surprised.
Her to hate him, and now looking back, she sees he was just being persecuted, and she goes on this long tangent just for him to respond with something that caught her off guard, that literally stunned her.
Own and you've been self-reflective on. I want to talk to you about so much of it because my next phase of you, well, I watched you during COVID and I loved all that, and I thought he's gotten very brave and very outspoken in a great way. Then came all the allegations, the alleged sexual assault and rape and blah, blah, blah. And it first came in this UK, quote, documentary, and they use that term very loosely there and here. And I'll tell you up front, I was angry when I saw that because they did it in such a compelling way that, especially the stuff about the 16-year-old, that I was angry with you. I believed what they said, or at least believed that there was enough smoke, there might be fire, and said to the audience at the time, you know, the conservative movement doesn't need somebody like that. Like, we love what he's saying about COVID, but if this is a guy who's sexually assaulting women and taking advantage of 16-year-olds, we need to move on without him.
Sure.
And felt that anger for a couple of...
Sometimes you can be the right messenger, or you got a right message. You got a right message, but be the wrong messenger. If you got them type of allegations, bro, we're not listening to you.
Years around you, because I just thought it was so reckless and it was so wrong. And I knew that it might be false, but it seemed overwhelming, the way that they presented the evidence. And then the more I looked at it, the more I started to recognize I might not know the full story, because since then I have seen what the British government has done.
Megyn Kelly is literally human garbage. So Megyn Kelly is trying to politicize women being victims. So because the UK government has taken on pro-leftist policies, pro-Muslim policies, pro-woke policies, the UK government is now, I guess, public enemy number one for right-wingers in the US. So she's willing to undermine the allegations for Russell Brand that includes some pretty damning evidence because she hates the UK government and considers them leftists. So now she's trying to politicize this. But Russell Brand halted her pandering mid-track and said something she was not expecting. Said something that made her look absolutely ridiculous, that made the pandering, that looked politicizing, look crazy.
What my own government has done to certain figures that it doesn't like. And I have an enormous amount of open-mindedness to you are being railroaded and attacked by people for reasons having nothing to do with actual facts, but with your right-leaning stance on certain issues, your growing prominence as a figure in a bunch of discussions that they find very threatening. And honestly, I just reevaluated the whole thing and thought, I need to be open-minded to having been wrong in my initial assessments, and I'm interested in a conversation about it all.
Thank you, Megyn Kelly, for giving me the grace to address in particular your anger, which is entirely legitimate and recognizable. And the plain fact of it is that in Europe and in the United Kingdom, where I'm from, the age of consent is 16, and I did sleep with a 16-year-old when I was 30. But when I was 30, I was a very different person. I
don't like me. I'm gonna go back a little bit, but it's like, bro, even when even in a place where they say, "Oh, the age of consent is this," morally, you should like no. Morally, you should still say no. You should like, oh, they said it's cool. Fuck it, let's go. No, nigga. No, I don't care where you're born at, bruh. If this person is not, even though it's still weird, because 30 and 18 would still be fucking weird. But if that person is not 18 and above, bruh, leave that person alone. 16, 17, no. 18, you still weird, but that's better than you doing with a 16-year-old. That nigga said, like, that's crazy.
When I was 30, but when I was 30, I was a very different person. I was a lot younger, and I was an immature 30-year-old.
The age of consent is like 13 in some places of the world. Is it okay for a 30-year-old man to come on a podcast and admit to being with a 13-year-old because the age of consent in that country was 13? There was a comedian who came on his internet and admitted that he went to certain countries where the age of consent was 13. And
he went there on purpose.
He took advantage of the laws, or he alluded to taking advantage of the laws and implying that he slept with 13-year-olds. I came on his internet and I critique him, and now they hate me forever because I'm calling them out. So this is not just a Russell Brand issue. This is a all issue. If you're somebody who's going to these countries where, we can all agree, bruh, like a 16-year-old, that's too young, homie. 13, like, come on, bruh. Now,
I don't care if you went there, you're born there, you're never to this place. No. Again, bro, that's why I be saying, bro, there needs to be a human being government. Like, a human being, like, government. Like, I'm not saying that human beings ain't in it, but I'm saying, like, it needs to be a government that's over these other governments. Cause, like, look, the United States, Germany, United Kingdom, whatever, all these different places, right? They have their own governments, and these governments do things for the benefit of their countries, their land, themselves. We need a government that's above that. That's above that. That's gonna do things for the betterment of human beings, and that law would get dismantled easily. That law would be gone. What? Again, if the thing I'm talking about, if that shit was real, once this place made this law and said, hey, age consent is 16, the human government would say, you're stupid. No. Like, that's what it needs to be, because having governments that are doing things for their betterment of their countries, that's why shit still keep going on. Like, it's certain religions where women can't do this, and like, teach his own. Not to knock nobody's religion, not to disrespect nobody's religion, but if you're to make somebody do something, it's crazy. If somebody want to do something willingly, that's them. But like, the rest of the shit, this shit be crazy, bro.
I'm American, so 18 is what I believe should be the youngest anybody should go, is 18. That's the American in me. Now, if some UK dudes watch this say, nah, Flakko, our age of consent is 16, what are you talking about? The issue here extends.
You need help. You need help. If a nigga say it should be 18 or lower, you like, no, it's 16 over here. And you're above 20, nigga, I can't even say you're above whatever age. 16 is still too low. If the age of consent is 16 and you're above 17, you need help.
It's far beyond the quote-unquote age of consent. Russell Brand is going to trial in October, not because he had consensual relationships with this 16-year-old and other women. No, the allegations are far more horrifying, which is why when you initially deny something and then you fess up to some of the things, we now have to assume that everything else is true because you initially lied. Russell Brand was actually 31 and she was a 16-year-old schoolgirl. Now, she reportedly said that he referred to her as the child during an alleged emotionally abusive and controlling 3-month relationship. She told Dispatch the presenter once forced his meat down her throat, making her choke, which led her to punch him in the stomach to make him stop. Now, again, if he was 31 here, he's 50 right now. This was 19 years ago, so this was 07. 5 years later, another woman alleged that Russell Brand raped her in 2012 in his Los Angeles home. The Sunday Times reported, adding that she received treatment at a grape crisis center the same day. So again, this is all the proof you need, right? So, like, if she got raped and then went and received treatment the same day, it's hard to say that, oh, she was just faking it, right? Because some women would engage consensually, then go away and regret it because they can't get the attention they want from you, and then scream grape. But if she got raped and then on the same day went to a grape crisis center to get treatment, there's some legitimacy here, right? The paper says she messaged him to say she had been scared by him or scarred by him and felt taken advantage of, adding, when a girl says no, it means no. Brand reportedly replied saying he was very sorry. So again, he admitted to this. The woman said she met him at an after party for his Brand X cat show, told dispatchers she did not report the alleged rape to police due to being scared because of the actor's fame. A third woman said Russell Brand SA'd her while she worked with him in Los Angeles, and that he threatened to take legal action if she told anyone else about her allegation. The paper reported a fourth woman described being SA'd by Brand and him being physically and emotionally abusive towards her. God damn. The paper said several others had accused Brand of physical and emotional abuse, SA, and bullying, adding that those who had come forward did not know each other and have mostly chosen to remain anonymous. The paper also reported that the woman who said she met Brand when she was 16, whom it gave the pseudonym Alice, contacted Brand's former agency, Tavis Scott Wood, in 2020 to alert them to his behavior she had alleged and seeking an apology. She says she was promised a response when he returned from a wellness retreat. When one came, she said it was from lawyers representing Brand, who issued a denial on his behalf and accused her of seeking financial gain. Alice also went on to work for Channel 5. Now, she said...
You're done, bro. You're stupid. Like, you got all this fame, all this clout. You want to do one with somebody 16, and then two, you want to take it? No. Nigga, what? Nigga. Bruh, let a girl use you for your clout, nigga. Like, you only want to do something because I'm famous, like a clout nigga, right? Like, so you only want to do something with me because I'm famous. All right, we gonna do it, and then I'm gonna pay you, and then you gonna leave. That's it. In your type of lifestyle where you don't have to do never, whether you're famous or not, you don't have to take it, bro. You don't have to take it. People, there's 8 billion, 9 billion people on this earth, bro. There's somebody who will like you for you. Go find that motherfucker.
Says that when she was working at Channel 5, concerns were raised when it was proposed that Russell Brand will host a show. The solution that was offered was that we will take the female staff off the crew. Women that have worked hard to get into this industry now can't work on particular shows because of fear that they might be assaulted or harassed. I was in disbelief. His reputation precedes him. Women who probably never met him, never worked with him said, bro, we're not working with this dude. We don't want to work with him. Smart. Due to his reputation, and they feared that they would also be victims of his because he's a creep and a weirdo. Now, here's the thing. When you first deny something and then you admit to... That's
kind of smart on their behalf, because sometimes people will have crazy allegations, right? The people will still go be with this person. Like, people who be on the internet, they get accused of doing X, Y, Z to their baby mamas, exposing their baby mamas, and then the next 2 weeks later, you see them in another relationship. Like, how do you go be with this person when you see what they just did?
To very little of it, I'll just have to assume that everything else is true, right? Because when you come out and you initially like, I don't know that woman, I've never dealt with no sex, and then you come and say, oh yeah, I dealt with her, but but when she says it was unconsensual, it was not true. Nah, like, stop it, bro. I'm not buying it. Now, during this interview, like, Megyn Kelly's response to this dude admitting to this was kind of odd, because her response was essentially, I can't judge you morally. It's not my place to judge you morally. Yes, it is your place to judge somebody with that many allegations against them morally, especially when he initially denied these claims and now he's admitting to certain things. It's your job as a journalist and like as a reporter to press. But she came on essentially to do an interview with him so they could essentially tear down the UK government for transitioning towards leftist policies, right? They're presenting the UK government as somebody who is going after right-wing voices and they're terrorizing them. And because they want to present the UK government as public enemy number one, they are willing to say the UK government is also going after Russell Brand because Russell Brand is a right-wing voice and not because Russell Brand violated multiple women.
Consensual sex, actually, with a variety of people, when there is a strong power differential, as there is when you're a famous man that has the ability to attract women that I had at that time, I think involves exploitation. I think it is exploitative. I recognize that my sexual conduct in the past was selfish, and I did not apply enough consideration, barely any, I suppose, really, to how that sex was affecting other people. The only matter that I would contest, while acknowledging, firstly, your right to be angry as a woman who, given what I know about you and the industry you've worked in, I'm sure that you have personal reasons for feeling aggrieved towards powerful men, because in spite of occasionally men coming to the forefront of the culture, whether it's the most hideous gargoyle villains as rendered and portrayed, or the more sort of innocuous and party boy style exploiters of women, a category that I suppose I must fall into. It's plainly something that exists within our industry, and one might say culture at large. While I was transgressing lines of being a person that was sleeping with people because I had availability to not only, by the way, waitresses and strippers and fans and people, but like, you know, powerful women as well, or like powerful professional women that had gravitas and status and power, I was only really thinking of myself. And obviously I have to be careful of contempt of court, because that's a law in my country where I can't say anything publicly that might in any way influence a potential jury. But obviously, as soon as I've said I'm not guilty, what I'm in effect saying is I had consensual sex with lots of women, kids, and then there were others that were like women, and like 25-year-old guys would pull up in cars outside the school, like just at my normal comprehensive, that means regular state school, you know, when all the girls in your year go out of, like,
Listen, you don't have to tell. I was called a pedophile enabler because I said there's a difference between 15-year-olds and 5-year-olds when we were talking about what Jeffrey Epstein is. And really the point I was making was that the term pedophile.
What the fuck? Yeah, she's shit. Yeah, lock her ass up right along with this nigga. Like, she said there's a difference between 5 and 15. No, there's not. You're a kid who can't not consent. Is it worse at a certain age? Yes. Because at 5, I mean, you are able to talk, but you for sure don't know what you're consenting to. At 15, sadly, 13, 14, most of us was already doing shit. Sadly. But that don't mean you finna go do it with an adult. And that adult should still look at you like, hell no. You're a kid. No. Like, I don't care how mature you are at 15 and you're consenting to that you want me. No. No. So where your mama at? Where your daddy at? What?
Only applies to somebody who likes prepubescent girls, which is a very different thing than liking women who are in their, late teens, and then you get into 15, 16 range, and it depends. It really depends.
I guess
these motherfuckers need to be they need to be popped in the head, if you know what I mean.
Law is the law. I'm in a legal situation. Morally, of course it's wrong. It's morally, but
I mean, there are 15 and 16-year-old girls who are having sex with 18 and 17-year-old boys. Like
right.
That's their age bracket. That's cool for them. That's okay. If you're 15, if you're 15 and the person that you're dating is 16, you're 15 and the person that you're dating is 17, that's the age bracket. That's cool. 15, 17, that's cool. 15, hey, 16 to 18. 18, you're kind of reaching. Like, if you met this person at a certain age, then it's different. But if you met this person, you're 18 right now. This person, you walk in, hey, how old are you? You're cute. How old are you? 16. You need to walk your ass away. You need to walk away. Yeah, it's only 2 years. The biggest age gap that's supposed to be, at least for that age bracket, is supposed to be 4 years. But still, Nick, no. No. When I was 18, I was not dating somebody 16. No.
like the age difference there does feel exploitative and shocking.
Yes. Like 15-year-olds, 16-year-olds, kids having sex with each other is none of my business.
Yeah.
Me as a 30-year-old, I had no business having.
Facts. There you go. Yeah, like teenagers, they're doing them. Yeah. Go ahead. I mean, not go ahead, but move out of my way. Cause again, we were at that age doing it, even though we shouldn't have been doing it. But nigga, if you're well within your 20s and this person is 16 and walk up to you, I don't give a f. They could be looking like Beyonce. It could be looking like Beyonce mixed with this say we put Ari's body on Beyonce. So what? Nigga, you better walk your ass away. Like, it does not matter. It does not matter, bro. No, it don't matter how much consent this person is giving you, how much she's flirting with you, how good this person might look. None of that shit matters. You know morally that shit is wrong. Walk away.
Consensual sex with women that were just past girls, that were just over the age of consent. But it wasn't like my thing. You know what I mean? It was just this one, that one, this one, fine.
It felt good to see people on his bumper because people ain't going for whatever he's selling. One person says, isn't it crazy that we live in a world where pedos do not fear admitting publicly that they are pedos? Somebody says, what's weird here is that I'm a lawyer, I work at a law firm, and I'm alive, and my coworkers are very much alive. Yet, here sits Russell Brand speaking as though all of the lawyers everywhere are dead. He says, you mean to tell me Russell Brand, the man who recently converted to Christianity, is indeed a pedo? Is there a pervert or pedo that conservatives won't try to normalize or elect? The needle drop with Fantano said it. I pray that everyone who's been abused by a pedo has their day of justice. Meanwhile, they're being platformed and interviewed as if they're...
I ain't lying, but you gotta... On this situation, you can't just hold him accountable, though. You gotta hold the place that he's from accountable, too. Because they gave him this consent. They said it's okay. So he ain't the only one of it. He ain't the only one. Wherever he's from, they're doing this on the daily. So we can't just hold him accountable. He was just voted to admit it. Because I never knew that. We all hear about age consent in different places, but we never hear about, like, you know, a person that say, hey, yeah, I'm this age and the age consent is this and I did this. We don't hear about this. But if the age consent is these are these ages in all these different places, he ain't the only one. He ain't the only one. There's millions, probably billions of people who are doing this shit. So we gotta hold the place that he's born in accountable too. Again, where's the human being society at, bro? Where's the human being government at, bro? Like, we got all these government of this place, government of this country, government of this country, government of this state. Nigga, where is the human being, bro? Human being, like human society that's over everything, because this country needs to be slapped in the fucking face.
Rape of a child who just some dark night of the soul voyage. Bro, people is really on. Nobody is looking at this and saying, oh my God, Russell Brand, you are a victim of the UK government. They're after you. Nobody. No. As a matter of fact, the only people who are somewhat giving him grace are people like Megyn Kelly who want to use him as like a martyr against the UK government. But y'all let me know in the comment section what y'all think.
But you can't say that, hey, because I just said, because you can't say that they're not wrong. I ain't gonna say that they're going directly at him because of that situation, because, hey, nigga, they didn't make you do it, you did it on your own. But they need to be looked at too, because, nigga, why would you make this age of consent 16? Who thought about that? Who was like, yeah, like, I'm gonna go in here because laws gotta be passed. So more likely it was grown motherfuckers in that courtroom. I'm like, yeah, 16, yeah. Let's go with that one. What? Like, I know it's more than one judge, so somebody should look at it. Somebody be like, hold up. We need to investigate him. We need to investigate her. Somebody need to be investigated, because why would you even bring that and say, yeah, we gonna make it 16? What? Why would you want that? That's to show you right there, somebody's mental was already sick. Somebody's mental was already sick for you to even come up with this age. Somebody was already sick, and they should have been in jail then. That person, when they came to the courtroom, when they brought it to their other judge co-workers, whatever how it went, that person should have been locked up. Because why would you even think that that's cool?